Alrighty guys, what's going on? So today I'm going to be talking to you about the Roland JX-03 sound module. Essentially it's a little compact synthesizer that is based off of, or is more or less a reproduction of the classic JX-3P that Roland introduced in I think 1983. It was one of the, at the time actually, that was one of the first analog synths with MIDI. So, you know, it's pretty cool. And then this thing, honestly, is just like, it's amazing. It sounds like almost identical. So, the synth itself, and I'm mostly going to be talking about the capabilities on it. The sounds you can pretty much hear anywhere online, but most people don't speak on the capabilities of this thing. That's kind of what I want to talk about. So you have a 6-voice polyphony, tons of analog components that are built in, so you get that nice, warm, crisp, and almost dirty analog sound, along with the dual digital oscillators on top. And those are nice for just easily crafting sounds and also having some consistency in the synth too. As for the sound on this thing, it is honestly amazing. They really did a great way, or great reproduction of the sounds. I mean, nailed all the old sounds and also built in the presets so that you can, you know, easily kind of recreate those sounds without having to go through all the filters and everything. I've really enjoyed playing with it. You also have, besides the presets, you have the pitch bend and modulation as well right here, and those are both controlled on a really kind of cool finger sliding interface. As for the presets, you have 3 different banks which you can see. So you have the A bank, B bank, and C bank, and across there are 16 different presets. For A, they're pretty much labeled string, organ, brass, piano, clef. You can see those across. Same thing with B, they're pretty much labeled, pretty self-explanatory. C, those are pretty much ones that you can either store yourself or just different synth presets that they have on here, all which sound really cool. So let's talk a little bit about the back of this thing, exactly what your physical capabilities on this are. So to start, you have your, obviously, your on and off switch right here. You have the USB 2.0 plug right here, input. That means that this thing is bus powered. And there are actually 2 ways to power this. So you can either plug it in and, you know, have it with your like laptop or computer, which is cool, or you can also put batteries on it, in it, and use the external or internal speaker to actually play. You have the volume knob right here on the back. Honestly, kind of a weird place for that. I don't know why they put that there. I feel like it would have been better on the front. Kind of annoying to have to adjust from the back, but you know, that's just one, I guess, quirk of this thing. You have the headphones, your output, your input if you want to chain 2 of these together, and then you have your classic 5-pin MIDI. Unfortunately, you don't have the USB MIDI, so you can't use that, which I would have liked to see on here. I think it just makes things easier and it makes it just more functional with more modern MIDI controllers, but you know, for what it is, it's cool, and they really stuck with that classic sort of feel, so I like that. You know, it's fine. As for actually running this thing, or using it, the thing is, even with the presets, it's still very much customizable with all of the knobs. So up here, obviously you have your 2 oscillators, you have your VCF, BCA, your LFO controller, and then your envelopes. So, you know, you can really easily, you know, alter your presets with different filters, cutoff frequencies, etc. You also have an arpeggiator, or a sequencer, and you can have arpeggiated sounds as well. So it's really well rounded in terms of the actual sounds you can make. You will need an 1/8 inch output. That's the only way you're going to get sound out of this thing. If you're running it to an audio interface and trying to run it into your computer. It also does, it's basically meant for Roland's 25E MIDI controller. It plugs into it easily, and they essentially made that so it can pair with a lot of these new boutique synths that they're making. But if you don't want to purchase that alongside it, and I think it is like 50 something bucks, so it's just kind of another thing on top, which can be annoying if you only have one of these things, which I do. So I just use it with my regular MIDI controller, and it works totally fine. I would just, make sure to check the compatibility first, because I know one of my buddies, it wasn't working with his, so that's one thing. Other than that, I mean, this is honestly such a cool piece of equipment from Roland, and they really just, I mean, obviously it's their sound, so they knew what they were doing, but they really just nailed it and just made their, old analog synthesizers, which are so expensive nowadays, just much more accessible. So I really like that. But yeah, I would highly recommend, if you're looking for a great piece of analog gear, check out the Roland JX-03 sound module. Alrighty guys, take it easy.